Konnichiwa everyone, it's Dan from JaDan.co.uk and today I'm going to help you smash that English teaching job interview. Cheers for finding my video everyone, I appreciate that. So today's video is all about smashing that job interview for an English teaching job. I'm not just talking about jobs in Japan, I'm talking about English teaching jobs anywhere in the world, you know, like Russia, China, Venezuela, I don't know, wherever they want English teachers, you might have got an interview and you might be looking for tips. So today, I'm going to help you out. So you might be thinking, who are you to try and give me advice? Well, I'm you, but a few years in future, I've done this a few times, I've got a better experience. 3 years ago, I was living in England and I was searching for jobs in Japan from England, and I did a bunch of interviews over the internet for jobs in Japan. So I've got that experience. After I came to Japan, I changed jobs once and I had to do interviews for that. I changed kind of careers. I went from conversational school to teaching in school, so I had to interview for that. And also last month alone, I did 12 interviews for various jobs, all teaching English. So I've got a bit of experience in what it's like, and I've got some tips I want to share with you. First thing I want to talk about today is a bit of an overview of what an English teaching job interview might be like. So whether it's Skype or whether it's face-to-face or whether it's like a recruitment fair, they're always basically the same. First part is always going to be about you. They're going to want to know all about you. They want to know what makes you tick, what makes you special, why do you want to do this job, why do you want to move to a new country. They're going to want to know all that stuff, so they're going to ask you a bunch of questions. Second part is always going to be about them. They're going to tell you all about their company, their job, what it actually entails, like what they expect from people that want to do the job, to make sure that you know what you're getting in for and that they've covered all the bases legally, I guess. And the third part is always related to the English language and teaching skill. And this can range right from like explaining a basic grammar point. In one interview they asked me to explain the difference between bored and boring, for example, right through to a full demo lesson in front of other teachers. And I've done both and they're quite common. I remember one I had to sing a kid's song off the top of my head to show that I could sing to kids. I mean, it all depends on what kind of job it is, but there's going to be something in there to check your actual teaching ability. You know, and at the end of these interviews, they'll always ask you if you've got any questions, and they'll get a time frame of what happens next and blah, blah, blah. It's pretty much like any other interview in that case. So now that you know pretty much what an interview is going to be like, I've got some tips to share to make sure you smash it and get a job. So the first bit of advice I've got for you is know the job and know the company that you're applying for. So of course, be yourself, that's important, but be a version of yourself that hits all their criteria. You know, all these companies are going to have some sort of philosophy on the website. Go and look at that and see how that relates to you. Look at the actual job listing and look at what they're actually looking for and work out how you can hit every single one of them points. Because if you hit all them points, you're going to stand out, and it's a very competitive market. So if you can stand out by doing a little bit of research, you're going to look pretty good in the end. Next thing to be aware of is be energetic, but not too energetic. Unless you're interviewing for a kid's job, then maybe energetic's better, I don't know. But what I mean is, don't be that guy that's like, okay kids, today we're gonna study superlative adjectives. Like that. Nobody wants a teacher like that. They want somebody with a bit of pew to make it interesting. I would imagine that being energetic is more important than being ESL proficient. Like, you can learn the grammatical terms, you can learn how to teach. Learning to be energetic and welcoming is a different thing. So try and do that. Don't be over the top. Like, if you're over the top, it's too obvious. But don't be boring. Like, put yourself out there a bit. I know it's embarrassing, but it'll work out better in the end. Another thing to think about with these kind of things is being prepared. Job interviewers love to throw something in there that try and knock you off your game and see how you deal with it. And they want to see how you deal with things in real life, so they'll try and do that to you. And being prepared can kind of minimize that risk. And being prepared can take many forms, you know. Look through your notes, or go and check like basic grammar points to make sure you don't say, oh, stupid. I mean, at the end of the day, you're probably a native speaker and you know how to speak the language. But if they ask you to explain the difference between A and B, can you do that? Be prepared to do that. And maybe just make sure you know a kid's song, or maybe you make sure you know how to present language or something like that. Just something in back pocket in case they pull it out. And as they say, proper planning prevents piss poor performance, and nobody wants piss poor performance, so get some proper planning done. Next up is listening and asking questions. So when it's their turn to talk, listen to what they've got to say. Even though they might just be droning on and on and on, which sometimes happens, listen and take on board what they're saying. Make mental notes of the points that they're making, because that might be really important. And don't be afraid to ask questions. One question I always ask to interviewers is like, tell me one time that you struggled in this job. Because that makes them think that, oh wow, he's really thinking ahead. And it gives you some insight into what real life might be like behind the scenes. So always have a question or two in the back pocket about the interviewer, not about the job or the company. So make a personal connection. I mean, of course you're going to want to ask like the basic ins and outs that they don't cover. Maybe you want to know about holiday days, or maybe you want to know about visas and stuff. That's fine, but also ask a few questions that they're not expecting, because that'll make you stand out a bit more too. The last thing I want to cover today should be obvious, but it's not always, and it's don't be stupid. Don't go in a backwards hat. Get an haircut. Take your piercings out. So like when you're in a job interview, you look a bit professional. Like, do something like that. Wear a tie, wear a shirt, wear a suit. For Christ's sake, you're going for a professional job interview. Look the part. I mean, I hate wearing a suit, to be honest with you. I absolutely despise wearing a suit and a tie, but that's how it is done. And if you want to stand out in the right way, don't stand out. Go looking like you're ready for a job and you're ready to work there. It'll look good in the long run. So, there you have it. There's some tips and tricks from my own experience to help you get that English teaching job, whether it's in Japan or wherever, and I wish you all the best in your endeavours. So that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, there's plenty more where that came from, so do me a favour, smash that subscribe button and also put a thumbs up on this video, because that's what cool kids do. We've also got Discord, links in description, and we've got Patreon, which is patreon.com/JaDan. You guys are awesome, but as always, until next time, Jamata!